For thousands of years, human life was dictated by one simple rule: sunlight. When the sun went down, the world went silent. Life moved at the speed of a horse, a plow, or the wind in a sail. But between 1760 and 1840, something extraordinary happened. The rules of the game changed forever. The quiet world was replaced by the roar of an engine. This was not just a period of history, it was a fracture in time. A moment where humanity shifted from muscle power to machine power, from the farm to the factory. This is the story of the revolution that built the modern world and the fire it breathed into our cities, our societies, and our souls. Why Britain? Why did this revolution erupt on this rainy, windswept island? The answer lies underground. Britain sat on a geological jackpot, coal and iron ore, often found side by side. But geology wasn't enough. The British Empire provided the fuel of capital. Wealthy landowners and merchants, enriched by trade in colonies, had the money to invest in risky, new machines. Meanwhile, back on the farms, the agricultural revolution was pushing people off the land. New farming tools meant fewer workers were needed. The enclosure movement fenced off common lands. Millions of displaced farm workers became desperate for work. They flocked to the cities, creating a massive workforce. So Britain had the fuel, the money, and now the people. The stage was set. For centuries, making thread was a slow, delicate task done by hand in cottages. Demand for cloth was high, but supply was limited by how fast human fingers could work. Enter James Hargreaves. His spinning jenny, patented in 1764, allowed one worker to spin 8 spools at once. Suddenly, the cottage couldn't contain the machine. Then came Richard Arkwright's water frame. It was too big for a home. It needed a waterfall for power. Arkwright didn't just invent a machine, he invented the factory system. He brought the workers to the machine. But factories chained to rivers were prisoners of geography. They needed a new kind of power, one that could be built anywhere. In 1776, James Watt perfected the steam engine. For the first time, humanity had unlocked a power source that didn't depend on wind, water, or muscle. It was tireless, it was hungry, and it ran on coal. With factories producing mountains of goods, Britain faced a new crisis: transportation. Moving heavy coal and iron on muddy roads was impossible. First came better roads, thanks to men like Macadam. Then came the canals, man-made rivers that could carry tons of coal for pennies. But the true revolution was yet to come. In 1829, George Stephenson's rocket proved that steam could run on rails. For the first time in history, a vehicle could move faster than a horse over land. Distance and time were being conquered. Railways changed our perception of reality. Towns that were days apart became hours apart. For the first time, clocks had to be synchronized across the country. Railway time became standard time. The world shrank. Fresh food, news, and people moved at unprecedented speeds. The modern, connected world had begun. But the factory chimneys that belched wealth also belched darkness. Cities like Manchester exploded in size, but they were utterly unprepared for the flood of humanity. The working class lived in squalor. Entire families crammed into single rooms in slums with no sanitation. Cholera and typhus were constant, invisible assassins. And the price of progress was paid by the youngest. Children as young as 5 or 6 worked 16-hour days in factories and mines.